Okay, well, will you guys please introduce yourselves to the camera? We'll start with Tamika.
Okay. My name is Tamika M. Savage. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, with the Slate Project.
With the Slate Project. Okay, cool.
I'm Jim Rowe. I'm the pastor at Redeemer Lutheran in Kingston, New York.
I'm Lauren Muratori. I'm a pastor at Gettysburg Seminary, and I'm also here with the Slate Project.
Okay, cool. And Andrea?
My name's Andrea Dedman, and I'm the director of the Children's and Youth Ministries at St. Michael's Episcopal Church here in New York on the Upper West Side.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to move the camera in on whoever's talking so we can, we got a lot of noise in the background. So what I'm going to ask you is just to talk about what you came here to get and what you actually got and what it was like. You're talking to people who are thinking about coming. So what would you tell them? Let's just start with Tamika again.
I actually didn't come with much expectations because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. But, however, after coming here, has opened up my heart, my mind to the power of music and worship, and it confirmed a lot of things that I actually felt what music was, what worship was, as well as challenged me to open up and be vulnerable and make mistakes and allow God to use that in such a powerful way. So.
Cool, awesome. Jim?
Yeah, I came because I had heard some really good music through Emily Scott, who's a pastor at St. Lydia's, at a retreat that she and I were at together. And so I came wanting to learn a little bit more of that music and came away from it being very challenged to get out of my very structured, traditional, high church Lutheran type of way of doing things to be a little bit more free-flowing and a little bit more comfortable outside of that comfort zone of hymnal and pulpit and manuscript and everything being written down, and still not totally comfortable with it, but getting there. Yeah.
Cool. Lauren, tell me, what were some of the things you learned over the past couple of days?
Right, so I came here to learn knowing that I was also bringing with me a significant amount of anxiety, and did it anyway, and I'm grateful for that because I learned, in addition to obviously some new music to share with my communities back home, I also learned that it's freeing to learn publicly, to fail publicly, to be forgiven publicly, and all of the ways that opening up yourself to that not knowing and not being perfect and failing in public sometimes, it's not just freeing for you as the person who's doing it, it's also freeing for the people who you're with in community, watching you be willing and vulnerable to do that. And I think that that's really good for the church, and I think that that's more what the kingdom of God looks like than sometimes this perfect, pristine thing we try to make of it.
Awesome. Thank you. Andrea, were there any things you did here this weekend for the very first time?
Yeah, definitely writing my own songs and singing them in front of all of these people, and then hearing them sing what I have written. That's definitely new. And also, I've led singing with kids before, but never with grown-ups, and what's really powerful about this method, or whatever we want to call it, music that makes community, is that verbal instructions aren't necessary. And you just jump in, and I think that's way more inviting and more powerful for everybody involved.
That's great. I'm going to invite Jason into the frame here.
It's a good word, invite. It's a good music makes community word.
Jason, will you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about what you got here?
Yeah, my name is Jason Chestnut. We're starting a new community in Baltimore. It took me out of my comfort zone more than I thought it would. And I've done like community organizing trainings that like specifically try to get you out of your comfort zone. I thought, I'll sing, it'll be awesome. But I was completely nervous and freaked out a good majority of the time, and it was kind of amazing. I mean, not always amazing. I think it was just a good enough balance between being pushed but also opening up some avenues. So it's not like I wanted to walk out. I wanted to keep going, but I was also freaked out. which is good. You got to be on the edge to like grow.
What were some of the things you were like? What specifically sort of took you out of your comfort zone, and what did you learn?
Sing out loud in front of people and get them to learn something. Even a song I thought I knew, I get up there and I'm like, ha ha ha, and I didn't know what to do. And I learned that my biggest fear was that it was gonna all fall flat on its face and totally like just completely fail. And actually one time it did happen, and yet it was still okay, and I was still alive afterwards. And I felt like we were more connected afterwards.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. So I'm just gonna pull back. Thank you all. See you next time.